Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing that. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, Axel, and Huber way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the truth. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the
Good evening, welcome, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at watching from around the world, welcome to a brand new episode, 2026 of East Africa Kidney Hub. It's been so long I forgot the name. Kidney Hub East Africa with myself and brother Moses Kennedy. Welcome, welcome. And today's show, we have a combination. We have a combination of information to share with our brothers and sisters in East Africa. So let me bring on my brother from Kenya, my co-host. We need to give him the royal treatment because it's been a while. He'll tell you. He's like, Brother Steve, we need to get back on. It's been a while. I said, Brother Moses, I'm with you. It has been a while. And we have seen many people who then got transplants, who then came on dialysis. And there's been an inconsistency of information. And we're back to bring that consistency. So without further ado, let's give Brother Moses the VIP treatment. Brother Moses, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Steve.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. Since last year, November 2025 to date. Really, it's been a while. And I've even
how
had
long it's been? Since November?
About around November to date. So I've had even some of our fans asking me, but where is your show, including from US? I've had these names. I can't remember them, but then they've been asking me what happened with Steve, the kidney nurse. Yeah. Then I normally say it's a matter of time. We'll be back live. So I'm really glad to be here today, and we hope that whatever we are trying to do will reach out to everyone, not only kidney warriors, but then every community that needs this information, Brother Steve.
You know, Brother Moses, just listen to what you just said. It made me think back at the times I told you how I get discouraged because of a lack of viewership, listening to the information that we put out. And just hearing what you just said, that there are some individuals where you're at asking what happened to me. It's like now, it doesn't matter how many people come. As long as we show up and the people who do come get the information. I always said, if I could help or we could help one person, whether it's here, whether it's me on TikTok, because lately TikTok has been suppressing my information where I used to have maybe 50, 60, 70 people. Now it's only like 3, 4 people. And the information that I'm putting out there is information that can help individuals that's undergoing kidney dialysis. So it is good to see you, Brother Moses, seriously, because honestly, when I think back, we've been doing this for a while. I mean, far as me knowing you on social media, I mean, at least 5 years or more. Has it been that long? About 5 years?
Yeah, 6 years, about six
Oh,
years.
see, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, to have a relationship like that with someone from another country that I never met in person, I'm humbled by it, and say that I'm glad to know you, and that we working together, and in light of the same, um, the same. I can't think of the word right now what I want to say, but we had the same goal when it comes to kidney disease and getting that information out there, spreading awareness, making people known about it. Unfortunately, you are going through the experience of dialysis, and myself, even though I'm a nurse working in the field for 40 years, I myself have stage 2 kidney disease. And I shared that many times. And, I'm doing everything I can to keep it in check. So, but today, Brother Moses, our topics that we're going to discuss, and I know we don't have like a lot of time, but we do have time to discuss this because these topics are important, not just to our brothers and sisters in East Africa, but to people around the world that are dealing with kidney failure, that's undergoing kidney dialysis, whether it's hemodialysis, peritoneal. And the topic that we're going to speak on right now is feeling better with adequate dialysis. And many people, Brother Moses, may not understand that's watching this right now what I'm talking about when I say adequate dialysis. Could you explain to them from a patient perspective what is, as you see, adequate dialysis to you?
Okay. First and foremost, Brother Steve, I want to acknowledge for having recognized that we've really done a lot together, and we've been friends for that long. So I appreciate that acknowledgement. Now, coming back to dialysis matters, that is dialysis adequate. It is the state at which one gets proper treatment, that maybe at the end of the treatment, the aim is to make you feel better. And then if that one is achieved, then we say you've got adequate dialysis. So if it is the other way around, when you don't get good treatment, enough treatment to achieve that, the feeling better, then it means you've got inadequate dialysis. So basically, that is what we are going to discuss today, Brother Steve. And I think I've just tried to put it in simple terms.
Mm-hmm. Brother Moses, let me ask you, do
Yes.
you think that the brothers and sisters in Kenya and East Africa are getting adequate dialysis? Even yourself?
Not really, because for one thing, they are not aware of that concept, that dialysis adequacy exists. So having lacked that knowledge, many warriors will not understand whether they are getting adequate dialysis or not. However, my assumption is that majority of warriors are not getting adequate dialysis. Why? Because there are so many factors that I know we are going to discuss here. Things like adherence to treatment. It is something that it is really complex here. And it is one of the big problems that afflict most warriors, Brother Steve. Yes.
Absolutely.
So the answer is no, they don't get adequate dialysis. I'll give about 40%, if I were to give 4 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Many people may be wondering, asking, Steve, Brother Moses, what are you talking about? Adequate dialysis. What are you talking about? And let me explain, fam. So when the kidneys don't work, right, waste products are created from the digestion of food and normal breakdown of body tissue. Again, waste products are created from the digestion of food that we eat and the normal breakdown of body tissue. Now, uremia is the buildup of waste products in the blood when the kidneys are not working. Uremia, urine. It sounds the same, right? Urine is waste. When we go to the bathroom, we urinate. But when you can't urinate no more, you have something called uremia that builds up in the bloodstream. And in my career, I've seen many patients in the past, older patients, that had white hair or gray hair. And then around the edges were yellow. And you know what that was? Urine crystals, uremia. Now, what dialysis does is remove the waste products that can make one feel better. That's what dialysis is for. It removes the waste and also ultrafiltrates, meaning removing fluid from your blood. Now, this happens when your kidneys are not working. That's why individuals have to do dialysis treatment to clear that waste out of their blood. Now, here goes some symptoms of uremia that I'm sure Brother Moses can expand on because he may have experienced it. And many other warriors, if you're watching this, whether you're on YouTube, on your phone, on your laptop, you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook, and if you're dealing with hemodialysis or dialysis therapy treatment, whether it's PD, hemo, or even if you're not on dialysis and you're at stage 5 and you just haven't started, if you have experienced these symptoms of uremia, put it in the chat. We're talking about loss of appetite, nausea, metallic taste in the mouth, change in taste perception, weight loss, tiredness, mental dullness, high blood pressure, and itching. Brother Moses, can you relate to any of these symptoms that I'm talking about right now?
Oh yes, oh yes. Many a times, if you don't get adequate dialysis due to any other reason, there is normally that built up of uremia. It may be, let's say, urine in blood, in simple terms. I mean, so you realize that one thing that stands out is loss of appetite. And this one, when most, from my own understanding, I always share with fellow warriors, if the moment you lose appetite, then it means the level of urine in acid in blood is high. So yes, for sure, that one really stands out. Another thing that really stands out is when the uremia is high, then the chances of getting tired is very high, quite high. And I do agree with you, Brother Steve. Almost all that you've listed, most of us experience. Yeah.
Brother Moses, one may be asking right now, or even our brothers and sisters in East Africa, or even here in the United States, United Kingdom, maybe over in the Asian countries, wherever they're watching from. They may say, Brother Moses, Brother Steve, how do I know when my blood is getting clean? How do I know? In here, United States, I'm not sure where you're at, Brother Moses, or anywhere else, but they use something called KT over V. And KT over V is a monthly test that calculates how well the blood is being cleaned. Now, there are goals for KT over V, Brother Moses. In outpatient hemodialysis, when you go to a clinic, because here in the United States, they go 3 times a week. I know over in East Africa, it's twice a week. But the goal for hemodialysis of a KT over V is 1.2 or higher. Now, for home dialysis, home hemodialysis, the goal is 2.0 or higher. In some places, it may be 2.1. And then when it comes to peritoneal, when you're doing it through your abdomen with the solution, the goal is 1.7. And you see how in center, the goal is a little bit lower as the home, because when you do home dialysis, the expectation is you're getting more treatment done other than going 3 times a week in the United States. And that's why I asked you in the beginning, do you think you were getting adequate treatment? Because 2 times a week at 4 hours, to some may not, that's only 8 hours of treatment, where the average person may go here in the United States 3 hours, 3 times a week. That's 1 more hour longer than what you're getting.
Absolutely. And that is why I did mention I would give 4 out of 10. The reason being, number one, is just twice a week. And 2, inconsistency by kidney warriors who doesn't make it, maybe on time or appointments. They will come today, miss tomorrow, maybe because of any other reason.
So that means they only did 1 treatment a week that week.
Yeah. Like in my case, last week, I did 1 treatment a week. Reason being, I'd paid my subscription, but then it never gave me notice that the cover has ended. So when I went in for treatment, I was told that mine has expired and I need to, to pay my premium. And with today's condition that is there in that national insurance, is that we have to pay for the whole year. So you realize some people fall out on the way because they cannot afford to pay that premium the whole year, you can imagine. So when that one happened, I missed it. And on the following day, I decided to mobilize a few friends to assist me. Then I was able, by next week, the following week, I was able to pay and then come up now to be clear, and I was now allowed to proceed. So these are some of the things that we cannot avoid. Sometimes we don't even expect them to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are so many reasons that makes one not to get that adequate dialysis. Yeah.
Yeah, because here, what they say, what adequate dialysis requires. Well, first, before I say that, let me ask you, have you noticed or seen any kidney warriors get off dialysis earlier than their treatment time?
Yes. There are those who are quite punctual. they come maybe 2 hours before, 2 hours earlier, and some does the opposite, wants to come maybe 1 hour later. So yes.
So let me ask you
The,
this. If you arrive late, do they cut your treatment time?
not in most cases, because that is what I've advocated to few units have been to. We insist, we have a WhatsApp group that we had. So we'd share that if you got late and you have reason enough of getting late, why don't the staff also sacrifice, for that just lost time, so that they help you, knowing that 2 sessions in a week is not enough. Yes, other nurse technicians are good, while others are not. So that is what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, in most places in the United States, if excuse me, if someone was to arrive late, say an hour past their treatment time, their time would get cut. Especially if it's at the end of the day, like 3 shifts, and the people been there from say 4:35, 8 o'clock. The cutoff time may be 7:30, and the third shift may start say 3 p.m. Right? So if you have
I
someone
get you.
4 hours, they finish at 7, and like I said, the cutoff time 7:30. So somebody come at 4 o'clock, and they 4 hours, they're only going to get 3.5. They're going to cut them off at 7:30. Now, this has been a issue for many people, especially people that work, and they may have to leave early or get caught in rush hour traffic trying to get to dialysis. But what does adequate dialysis requires? For one, Brother Moses, for one to get adequate dialysis requires something. And when we say adequate dialysis, if you just came in, we're talking about your blood being clean to the point where you're meeting or exceeding the KT/V, which is a blood test they do each month to see if you're getting enough dialysis or if your blood is being cleaned of the waste and toxins. So what is required of adequate dialysis? Attending all dialysis treatments, staying for your 4 prescribed treatment time. If you're 4.5 hours, stay your 4.5 hours. If you're 4 hours, you're staying 4, 3.5, 3:45, 3:15, 3. Also, rescheduling the treatment if a usual day is missed. So, like Brother Moses said, he missed a day. Then I would say, did you make that day up? Did you go in another day to get your 2 days that week? And that's what they do here in the United States. If one misses a day, we're going to ask them, can you make that day up? So if you're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you miss a Monday, can you come Tuesday? Then you're going, yes, you can come back Wednesday to get back on your schedule. And then Friday, if you're Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, coming out the weekend, if you got to miss Tuesday, well, can you come in on Monday? Because from Saturday to Wednesday, they're going to consider that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's five days.
So,
go ahead, Brother Moses.
so what happens? The scenario, the scenario here is quite different because the national insurance we have here, it is called Social Health Authority. It has its own stipulated rules and regulation that sometimes do not take patients into consideration. I want to give you, like, for example, my case. The Social Health Authority stipulates that pre-authorization can only happen twice a week. That is in the system, that it cannot change. So you can imagine, Brother Steve, if you miss one, then you come next week, there is no way you can, you get my point. There is no way you can pay, you can compensate that waste time or missed treatment. Why? Because the pre-authorization only accepts twice a week. I think they were putting this
Right.
to curb, and
So let me
scopeless.
ask you this. Okay,
Yes.
so what days do you go twice a week? You go Thursday and Saturday, right?
Tuesday and Friday.
Oh, Tuesday and Friday.
Yup.
Okay. So if you miss Tuesday,
Yes.
say you have an appointment, got something to do Tuesday, you can't
Yes.
come Wednesday, Monday, or Thursday and still go Friday. You can't make up that Monday. I mean that Tuesday.
Yeah, you can make that if and only you are paying cash. But if the government is paying for you, it means it will accept till Wednesday. Then now it means Friday it accept again. That is 2 sessions. So
Okay.
next week it will not accept. You get it? So if you miss Tuesday, right?
Okay.
And you don't have the money to pay cash, the Social Health Authority only pays twice a week.
No, I
So if
understand
you,
that. If you
yeah,
miss Tuesday, okay, you didn't have treatment. So how can they pay for something that you didn't do? All right.
absolutely,
Okay, so
absolutely,
you didn't do it on Tuesday. So say I'm going to make up for Tuesday. I'm going to go Wednesday to make up
yeah,
for Tuesday. Why would you
yeah.
have to pay cash? And why wouldn't they pay for it if they didn't pay for Tuesday and you getting your treatment Wednesday that's going to make up for Tuesday?
Yeah, I get your question. You see, if you have a problem on Wednesday that makes you not, because maybe of insurance, I mean of you have a problem to do with the SHA, the Social Health Authority, then the problem seems in between can only be solved. Sometimes it gets solved because it is money matters. If you miss Tuesday because you never subscribed early enough to Social Health Authority, then it is also possible that on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, up to next Tuesday, you can still have the problem of with your account simply because you haven't updated it in terms of payment. You understand, Brother Steve? So
Okay.
when your problem rolls over to next week, say today is Tuesday, you never did it, then your problem rolls over to next week, Tuesday, and you have not solved that problem, still you will not have the authority to have your treatment. You get? Unless you have a problem Tuesday, and then you are able to fix that problem within that week. And then either Tuesday, you can have your treatment, you can compensate for your treatment, or even Thursday, you can compensate, and then again, do another one on Saturday. It is quite possible.
But you gotta pay cash.
Yes. If the authority has not proven clear to you that now you are clear to have your treatment, because they pre-auth, then they give a notification that they have accepted, then that is when you get your treatment.
Wow.
Yeah, even if you have missed twice, there is no way you can compensate, because pre-authorization will only be twice in a week.
Right. I get that, but if it's 5 days a week or 7 days in a week and you miss 2, you can't make up those 2 days that you miss. Say if you were sick and you couldn't go to treatment, maybe for instance, we have people here that may call out and say, I'm not coming because I'm experiencing severe diarrhea. All right. So we say, okay, can you come tomorrow to make up for Monday? Say they Monday, Wednesday, Friday, call out Monday. We're going to say, can you come Monday? And they say, can you come Tuesday? And they say, okay. And then they come Tuesday, and then they'll come back on Wednesday on their regular day, and then Friday on their regular day. So, but you're saying that the authority, where you're at, that insurance doesn't work that way because it's pre-authorized. The treatment, the 2 days a week treatments are pre-authorized for whatever days.
Yes, the maximum they can pre-authorize is 2 sessions a week. So right. Even if you miss, it means for you to compensate for that lost treatment, then if you missed Tuesday and you are able to solve your problem with the social health authority by next day, then you can just request, and
you got to let them know that you missed the Tuesday treatment and get permission to come on Wednesday or Thursday. You got to get permission to do that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You just call and request. They will understand.
Oh, okay.
They will understand. As long as you are cleared on matters of payment, whether you are paying cash or you have cleared yourself with the social health authority, you can just request and do. You can even be doing thrice a week, so that one, you pay for yourself.
It sounds like you got to go through a lot, and that many people probably, if they miss it, they just miss it. They don't call the authority to make up their day. Is that how it is? Pretty much?
Yeah. There are people, government services here are quite tedious. They are not quite much accessible in a manner faster than you'd want. So something that ought to be solved within 1 day or 2 days, sometimes it is carried forward. Like if you have a problem on Friday, then Saturday and Sunday is a weekend. They don't open. So you are stuck until Monday.
Wow.
Yeah. You are stuck until Monday. So maybe Monday you get your problem solved. Then you request if you can be scheduled because you missed. Yes, if you have cleared, they can understand and tell you, okay, come and do it because maybe you missed it 4 days or 3 days, and you can be scheduled. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's one more thing that I want to say that it takes that requires adequate dialysis. I talked about attending all dialysis treatments, staying for your full treatment time, rescheduling the treatment if a usual day is missed, and then there's one more, and that's taking good care of your access, what they call your lifeline. Now, Brother Moses, you still have your catheter, right? You still have your
Yes, yes.
catheter. And when I say catheter, chat, this is what I'm talking about. Hemodialysis catheter.
Yeah, I still have it. And at the same time, I have a graft, but then I can't remove either because I've got some complication with central vein stenosis, and I was
Is your graft
scheduled
working?
to, yeah, from the last investigation before I was diagnosed of central vein stenosis. They told me the graft is working, but then now the flows of blood from heart to the other part, when it goes, it doesn't come back properly. That is why, because of that narrowing, that is why the other arm keeps on swelling, right? So that is how the state is. So I still have both, but currently I'm using the catheter.
Okay. So, Brother Moses, talk about taking good care of one's dialysis access, which I think is very important. Brother Moses, most people over at your clinic, do they have both catheter and access in their arm, or is there a majority of people with access in their arms or catheters, or is it a mixture?
Yeah, it is a mixture because there are people whose veins have failed them, like myself. Also, they still use the catheter, and there are those people are using catheter because the veins are failed, but then they cannot afford grafts. So actually, graft here is very expensive. It is an expensive affair to have one.
Wow.
Because the government still acknowledges only fistula and catheter. So
Yeah.
for the
Medicare.
graft,
Uh-huh.
it is not still covered.
That's crazy. You got to come out of your pocket to pay for the graft. But here in the United States, the government, pays for the surgery and they bill. But they only pay 80%. And the patient is responsible for 20. Brother Moses, you still there? Look like you froze up. Look like Brother Moses froze up. That's how it is sometime in Kenya. So hopefully we'll get him back. But let's talk about taking good care of your access. That's important, especially if getting good dialysis, or as we say, adequate. Having access procedures done as quickly as possible. Say if you got a graft or a fistula, and as you clot, you should be at home before you go to treatment doing access checks with your stethoscope. You don't have to get no fancy one like this, but get one from Amazon. And what you want to do is going to put it in 3 times a day, wherever your access is. You want to listen to the brew it. and feel for the thrill. Is anything moving through the access? This is a distinctive feeling and distinctive sound. And when you go one time, say you late at, you do it 3 times a week, morning, noon, and night. Say you go at night and listen, and you don't hear that, or you don't feel the thrill. You're like, I don't feel nothing. Time is ticking. That means what we call in dialysis, you may have a clotted access, or in medical terms, a thrombi, a thrombosis. And that happens that next morning. You even want to call your surgeon or the clinic or whatever. If you go to an access center, I'm talking about real quick. Because the longer you wait that they declot you, the more at risk you are for failed access. And then the next thing you know, they're going to put a catheter in, and they're even going to be looking at your upper, wherever the access is. If it's up here, they're not going to go below. They're going to move probably over here. See, if it's down here, yeah, then they're going to move up. But not the other way. They say, okay, we're going to look over here. So this is why taking care of your access is crucial. You may be saying, what do I mean taking care of my access? Rotating the sites is one. Ensuring that the needles, here go one right here. Do a show and tell. Ensuring, right? See, here you go. You see that sharp? See that, fam? Ensuring when we stick you, or when the technician or nurse sticking you, that they're rotating the sites, not always sticking you in the same spot. Because what happens, many patients like going and say, stick me right there. Going in the same area, because then it starts not to hurt, opposed to when you go into a new site. But let me tell you something. Rotating the site will give your access much longer time to use. Now, we got Brother Moses back. Let me bring him on. Brother Moses, I can't see you. There you go. There we go.
Yes.
How's it going? Welcome back. Welcome back. So, Brother Moses, what I was talking about was taking good care of the dialysis access. And one thing I said, which I know in Kenya or East Africa, this can be a big challenge. This part could be a big, big challenge. And that's having access procedures done as quickly as possible. So if you're out in a rural community or a neighboring community and your access clots not working, stop working, you may have to go many miles to go to the nearest hospital. Isn't that right, Brother Moses? Which
yes,
can
yeah.
put the person more at risk of losing the access, because time is essential in getting to the access surgeon to declot the access. And is that an issue in where you're at, Brother Moses? If something happens to your access, you have to go a long distance to get it addressed, opposed to like going 2 or 3 miles to the access center.
Oh yes. You will go away miles, and even far distances just to have your catheter, or I mean, in your access checked. Because remember, we've got long, we've got few cardiovascular surgeons that handles this matter. So basically, it is outpatient service that you sort it privately, away from your dialysis unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Brother Moses, I want to answer this question. My friend from TikTok, Naj Nala, I call it Naj MD Naj. She
Uh-huh.
asked the question, how long can one go without treatment? And that varies from person to person. You know, if one still urinates, um, that answer can vary. I've seen someone go without dialysis for 2 years. They was on hospice on TikTok, and her name was Jeannie Button. She went on hospice and lasted 2 years. So it just depends.
Wow. Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and thank you, Joe Samuel, for coming through, saying excellent form for kidney disease, renal replacement therapy, dialysis. So we appreciate you stopping by, commenting. But Brother Moses, what I was talking about when you came back was I was talking about needle rotation. Needle rotation. Um, and when one is getting stuck, to rotate each time you get stuck, the next time rotate and don't go at the same area, because you'll keep the longevity of the access pretty well. With a graft, because it's man-made, you may get about 5 years. That's the average time, about 5-year usage. But remember, this is man-made not actually plastic, but a synthetic Gore-Tex type of material. And when you sticking it with these sharp needles, right? And showing people here, when you're sticking it with this sharp needle, each time you're puncturing that material, it got to seal up. So imagine keep going at the same area. It's going to take longer to seal up over time. So that's why we take people to rotate. So that's what I was talking about. Also, taking good care of your dialysis access also involves knowing the prescribed blood flow rate and make sure it's reached every treatment. Each machine has a pump that pumps the blood, and each patient has a prescribed blood flow rate. I don't know, Brother Moses, you could be 400, 450. Some people may be 300, 350. Do you know your blood flow rate, Brother Moses?
Oh yes, I've been on. I normally try to get it to 400. for many years. So at 400, that is what I've been on for so many years.
Yeah. And for many people who don't know, the more your blood flow rate, the more blood is being processed and the more waste is being removed. Now, if you got a catheter and you're supposed to see, this is a man-made device. You can see this. This is man-made. So cleaning using the catheter is going to be almost somewhat reduced because it's man-made. Right? So that's why they want the blood flow rate up with the catheter, 400. Now, when your catheter stops working, or you got a lot of times what happens, those holes at the end of the catheter, right there, those holes, this tip part is in the back of the heart chamber. And by this being man-made, blood is going to cling to this because it's a foreign material. So what's going to happen, you see these holes right there at the end of the catheter. That's where the blood comes through when we put the syringes on to pull out. Over time, that's why they put heparin in the limb. Oh, you need to see, there you go. There were the holes right there, Brother Moses, those slits.
Yeah, you can see it.
That's why they put heparin in here to help prevent these holes from getting clogged up, because over time, blood will start sticking, aggregating toward these right here and build up what they call a fibrin sheath. And over time, what's going to happen is going to cover those holes. And now when we put the syringe on to try to get access to the blood, we're not going to be able to get it because these holes are going to be blocked. So that's when they come and we have, where is it at? We use this medicine right here called calf flow activase, which is a thrombolytic, meaning it comes in a powdery form. Comes in this bottle right here in a powder. And we mix sterile water in it, reconstitute it. Then we draw up 2 cc's, right? And then we put it in here. We inject it into the port, and it's going to, that medicine reaches down in here and it starts to dissolve the thrombi or the clot that's covering those holes up. And so we let it sit there for 30 minutes. And we go back, and most of the time when we put a 10 cc or 3 cc syringe on, when we aspirate, we got flow. But this is expensive, and a lot of units don't get reimbursed. So if that unit has it, they may use it to get the person through that treatment. However, if you had to start using this for your catheter, that means there's a problem. And a lot of times now over here, Brother Moses, if you got an issue with this, they don't put the wire down in here anymore. They just pull out the whole catheter and replace it. And that's what Medicare pays for that. They just replace the whole catheter. So, but knowing what your prescribed blood flow rate is and making sure that it has reached every treatment is imperative if you're watching this right now, especially if you got a catheter, because they may not tell you it's not working right, and you could be asleep and the machine going off. You could be a heavy sleeper, and all they're going to do is come over and keep turning the blood pump speed down to see if it'll work at that speed. And next thing you know, you're supposed to be on 400 and you running at 250. So know what your prescribed blood flow rate is. And if you're not reaching it, if you look over whether you got a graft, fistula, or catheter, if you're not reaching your prescribed blood flow rate, you want to know why. Because if you're not reaching it, your blood is not being cleaned properly, or you're not getting enough, the waste cleaned out like you should at that prescribed blood flow rate. Now, Brother Moses, let me talk about what happens when enough dialysis can lead to. What can happen if a person does not get enough dialysis over time? Meaning you're getting off early, you coming in late, you miss your treatment and don't reschedule. Not enough dialysis can lead to decrease in appetite and energy, feeling sick and tired, fluid overload, shortness of breath, edema, meaning fluid in the ankles, more frequent hospitalization, and last but not least, which nobody wants to hear, a shortened lifespan. Brother Moses, you have many people here, and I'm sure there, that say, I don't feel good, this, that. They got a decrease in appetite. They're feeling sick and tired. Or they have fluid overload. Or they may see themselves in and out of the hospital. But at the same time, they're shortening their treatment. They're not going to dialysis. They're not making up. And it's the same song and dance. So a lot of people don't understand that many of their symptoms could come from not getting enough dialysis, especially if they have the catheter. Because again, this is a foreign material. It's man-made. It's not your natural veins like a fistula. That's why they say the fistula is the gold standard. Then comes the graft. And then they put this in because it's quick access to your bloodstream. So we can immediately start dialysis. Usually it's another one that they use. And it's the IJ, which go in the side of the neck. They call it IJ for internal jugular vein. This catheter is shorter. They put it in right at the bedside. And it goes right there on the side of the neck. So, bam, emergency, if you need emergent dialysis, here they put it at the bedside, call the nurse in, and we can do it. And then say after a couple of days, they schedule for the permacath. They pull this out and put this in. So now again, not getting enough dialysis can lead to a decrease in appetite and energy. So if you're watching this and you've been missing treatment or shortening your time, it's over a period of time, this builds up. Decrease in appetite and energy, feeling sick and tired, almost like you did when you first started treatment. Fluid overload, shortness of breath, edema, more frequent hospitalizations, and shortened lifespan. Now, what questions should one ask, whether you're in East Africa, United States, United Kingdom, Asia? What questions should you ask if you're dealing with this? Do I gain too much fluid weight in between treatments? Do I stay for the entire treatment time? Do I go to all my dialysis treatments? Did I reach my prescribed blood flow rate? Do I feel well? Have I kept all of my access appointments? Do I arrive late or do I leave early? Those are the questions you may want to ask yourself. Hey, be happy. Hey, y'all. Now, let's look at life, how it can be with a healthy KT over V. Feel better. Have more energy. Being more active. Enjoy food. And live longer. That's why you see some people who's like, how you on dialysis? How do you have all this energy? How are you able to do, like I talk about the gentleman that did nocturnal dialysis overnight, 6-hour treatment, 3 days a week at night. 3 days, 6 hours, that's 18 hours a week. Now imagine 18 hours of treatment opposed to like Brother Moses is 8 hours. This person is getting 10 more hours of cleaning of their blood. And I talk about 70-something-year-old gentleman that was doing nocturnal. And when he got off in the morning, he went and played golf. We in Houston. They got a lot of golf courses in Houston. He went and played 9 holes every time he got off, because that's what he retired. He loved golf. And he felt, Brother Moses, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Most people, when they get off dialysis, they got to go home and get some rest. This guy go home, get something to eat, and then go off to the golf course. So, Brother Moses, we're over our time, but I want to talk about one more topic, and then next week we got something to talk about. We can talk about understanding albumin and have our audience really know how important albumin is and how it can impact their life, especially with kidney failure. But let's talk right quick about protecting your heart, because that's equally more important to discuss. Protecting your heart. And one may say, what do you mean, Steve, protecting your heart? Now listen to this. Dialysis, meaning when we had the artificial kidney in the machine, dialysis removes fluid that diseased kidneys cannot. So when your kidney's not working anymore, it can't remove the fluid that you drink. Say, for instance, like if I was on dialysis, this right here is 33 ounces They suggest 32 ounces a day. This, if I drunk this today, this would be it for me, technically. It's 32 ounces. I would have to break this up into like maybe 8 4-fluid ounce drinks. But dialysis removes the fluid that your kidneys cannot once they fail. Now, the thing about it is, too much fluid can cause stretching of the heart and vessels, making them weak. That's what the CHF comes in, congestive heart failure. Now, how do we prevent this from happening, fam? Limiting fluid can help keep, wait a minute. Limiting fluid can help keep the heart and vessels healthy. Now, as I mentioned, it is recommended. It's just a recommendation to limit fluid, if you're on dialysis, to 32 ounces each day. And if you still urinate, they may say, okay, you could take it to 48. So it's a range, 32 to 48. If you hear 48, that's because the person is still urinating. If you don't urinate, 32. Now, here's an example of 32 fluid ounces, right? This is exactly 33.8. But you can round it off and just say 32 to get an idea. Or you can have 2 16-ounce bottles. That's 32 ounces. Or, as I said before, what I would have to do with that is break it up into, I could do 8 4-ounce glasses, or I could do 4 8-ounce glasses. You got to be creative with this. I'm say I can't limit this to just 32 ounces. And that's why you see people coming back to treatment from Friday to Monday. They had that challenge because they got that extra day. You got Friday, just finished. You got the rest of the day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you got to come back Monday. That's almost 4 days. And that's why managing your fluid is so critical. No one said it would be easy, but it's doable. Consider this when you're trying to manage your fluid. Hold on. Consider this. I want to mute you one more time. I know your background noise, you're in the public space. Consider this. Anything that melts at room temperature as fluid. Anything that melts at room temperature is fluid. Ice, gelatin. Avoiding salt and salty foods. Taking pills with applesauce instead of fluid. Measuring and tracking fluid intake. Get a measuring glass and tracking it. You got to be intentional when you're doing this stuff. Sipping beverages slowly at meal. So instead of gulping it all up, They talking about like, you know, sipping it. Using lemons or limes, sour flavors to quench your thirst. And just know this, last but not least, avoiding sugary items which can lead or which can cause increased thirst. So that's our tip for protecting your heart, letting you know that the more fluid you bring in, if you go on dialysis, the more that it can cause stretching of your heart and the vessels, making them weak. And this is where CHF comes into play. Brother Moses, anything you want to say pertaining to fluid before we end the show, or anything you have to say? The floor is yours.
Oh, yes. We must understand that protecting our hearts goes hand in hand with better outcome in terms of managing CKD. So it is very important that always we must watch out about our hearts, because the most common problem with most warriors that become so much complicated is heart-related illnesses, cardiovascular issues. So yes, I want to urge everybody to take note of any changes in their heart, be it heartbeats or rhythm or anything, name it. You must be alarmed. Thank you, Brother Steve.
Yeah, Brother Moses, absolutely. Thank you. Brother Moses, like I said, we've come to the end of the show. We ran over 19 minutes, but that's okay, because I mean, we had many people come through, stop through, support. I appreciate the people that came through and supported me. MD Naj, she says, or 32 ounce until next treatment. Oh no, 32 ounce per day. 32 ounce per day, beloved.
Yeah, let me make clarity. 32 ounce is equivalent. You know, the measurements we use here in East Africa is in liters. So it is about.
So 1 liter.
It is about. Yeah, it is about a liter, 0.9 something 8, close to 1 liter, because 1 liter goes for about 33 ounces. So maybe to our brothers and sisters in East Africa, when we are talking about ounce, it is the amount of that liquid.
Okay. Hello from Indonesia. Thank you for coming up. I mean, coming to the live. We appreciate you. Please share the information to your fellow Indonesians over there as well. Let them know that we're definitely trying to spread awareness for kidney disease. So we again welcome you from Indonesia. Thank you so much. So, but with that being said, Brother Moses, we're going to go ahead and end the broadcast. But as always, definitely appreciate doing this show with you. We've been doing it a while, man. The longest I've been doing this, the longest with you than I did with some of the people that we started the broadcast when we were doing shows on a regular basis back in 2018, 2019. I mean, we're talking about 6 years ago. 2018 is, we're talking about almost 8 years ago when I started this. And I mean, nothing's changed. It's still kidney disease. People are still being diagnosed, being put on dialysis. It's just information is like revolving. It doesn't change. It doesn't change because you're steadily having new people come in that may miss, like what we talked about with protecting your heart or adequate dialysis. That's something that's ongoing, because you're going to have new people not going to understand the process or what one is talking about when they say adequate dialysis. Are you getting enough treatment? So I'm looking forward to many more. I just take it one day at a time. We know what's happening in the world, as we speak right now. So I just take it one day at a time. So, Brother Moses, with that being said, do you have any parting words?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And first and foremost, I want to appreciate those who have supported us today. We also promise that we'll keep on dispensing knowledge as we've been doing. And now the break is over. We are up again. And we hope we'll make it better. So everyone, wherever you're watching, or if you are not watching today, I know maybe you will come across our videos and you can learn from it, not necessarily today, but anytime you visit Steve the Kidney Nurse YouTube and the Figo Initiative Facebook. So I want to appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely.
We value you.
Yeah, you see, we got the hotline up here. If you're in the United States and you're dealing with any type of mental depression, or you're just not feeling yourself, you need someone to talk to, definitely hit that suicide hotline. Well, with that being said, Brother Moses, again, it's been a wonderful show. I look forward to coming back. I feel like that I'm over, I'm not going to say my depression, but just feeling like our message wasn't getting out there. And then me getting restricted on TikTok is all discouraging. Low viewership. And again, in my mind, I'm thinking we're not getting across, but at the end of the day, I got to stand by what I've always said, even if we're just helping one person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The show must go on. That shouldn't distract us from the goal of the show. So
absolutely.
With that being said, Brother Moses, again, it's good to see you. Look forward to seeing you next week. And I will be getting up with you this week to go over the show material. And with that being said, everyone else, thank you so much for coming by, showing your support. Definitely MD Naj, J May. It was somebody else here. Robert, D Happy, Joe Samuel, and anyone else watching from YouTube or TikTok or Facebook. Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to seeing you soon. With that being said, take care and good night from wherever you're watching. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, I'm Darren. We have breaking news. More than 600,000 Americans have kidney failure. While the number of people with kidney failure is enormous, the number of people with its precursor, chronic kidney disease, is staggering. An estimated 31 million Americans, or about 10% of the US population. Diabetes and hypertension cause 2/3 of all cases of kidney disease. 1 out of every 3 Americans is at risk for kidney disease, and kidney disease is now among the top 10 causes of death in the United States. In addition, 9 out of 10 people with early to moderate kidney disease don't know they have it, putting their health in jeopardy. Are you at risk? For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org. The life you save may be yours.